So I've been putting this off for a while, but I just wanted to note that ethereal intelligence and artificial intelligence are not that different from one another. And what I mean by this is that, the sort of intergalactic core that Tesla refers to, the source of all information, operates not so differently from the way that we experience the sublime or the subtle in our lives in the modern technological era, where you can quite readily pull meaningful information out of, a sudden glance at Instagram or, YouTube. I've had something happen recently, which is very funny to me quite a bit, where I click on one thing and I get a completely different video. And I think, often, people like to talk about the cosmic joke, but very often, the information that's seeking us will find us. One of the folks I consider a mentor says that the stories seek the storytellers, and I've often found too that the songs seek the musicians. Um, but that what needs to be expressed or what needs to be known seems to have the ability to find us, even if we're somewhat blocked to it. Not always, but you know, enough percentage of the time. It's no guarantee against having terrible weeks, months, days, or years, but it's very possible that the information that is seeking us, or the archetypes or the symbols that wants to be found or wants to be known, will find its way into our field. And I think that that's quite a bit easier in some ways with the internet. Um, Imagine once upon a time you'd have to find a random book in a bookstore or have a conversation with the right person. And, these days, the dream time, the reality that we live in, has the option of just shooting it out to us through the internet, one way or the other. And I think that's very exciting because with AI, uh, classically defined as that which has not yet been invented, AI is artificial intelligence, right? So computation that has focus. That's how I would define it. Computation with focus. Previously, we've had computation without focus. It just does what it's told. We ask questions, they're answered. These days, something like chat, um, I type in all kinds of esoteric questions and what have you, and I also often ask it for definitions of words, and I find I get very, very, very good responses. And it's funny because it feels a bit like having a tutor. You imagine Alexander the Great or some of these individuals had these incredible tutors. They had people who were incredible scholars come, and if they had a question, they'd ask it and get an answer. Maybe it wasn't what we consider the right answer today, but it was an answer that was probably nuanced for the time, or maybe better than the answer we'd give now. Um, Maybe a more mythological answer, an answer that spoke more to the nature of the world as it truly is, rather than the nature of the world as the mind perceives it. And that's very interesting to me because I wonder going forwards if AI will prove to be an incredible tutor. And if we learn to use it to educate ourselves, if we won't find ourselves surprised at what we might learn.